There are two words that you need to remove from your vocabulary. These two words have got an amazing power in that they can make you continually sad, depressed, anxious, agitated, miserable. And we use this almost on a regular basis, about 5,000 times in a day. Can anyone guess which words I'm going to talk about?
I can't.
Need.
Bad guesses. Never and always. If you remove these two words, never and always, from your vocabulary, you will be happy. You may not always be happy, but you will be happy. The problem is, we want one little scene in our lives to remain forever. Okay? You want to always feel happy and never be sad. Right? How often in a day have you caught yourself using never and always? About 1 million times. We say it, I never do that. And I'll always say never. The universe doesn't hear it that way. It doesn't hear negating statements. The universe hears the positive part of it. I never get what I want. Okay, fine. We'll make sure that you never get what you want. I never will be happy. Okay, we will consign to make sure that you never will be happy. I'll never get the car that I want, that is my dream car. Okay, fine. We'll make sure that you don't get your car, that's your dream. See, this is how the universe is thinking. So when you're putting out those statements, this is what your subconscious is giving you the message. You're never going to get this, you're never going to do that, you're never going to do. Fine. Oh, and then the universe says, oh, this is what she wants. She never wants to get it. So instead, if you remove those two words and ask to be happy, you will not be sad. I'm not saying you will never be sad, but you will be in a good place. You will be in a good place. My friend always would tell me never say never. I had very strong ideas of right and wrong, of black and white when I was a teenager. I'll never do this. I looked down on everybody who did anything differently. And it would be strange that the universe would find some way to bring me to my knees and make me swallow those words. Once you say never, you're making a judgment. And judgments are never good, even though I'm using the word never. They are not good for you because immediately you've put yourself in a place of superiority. You think you're better than somebody else because you hold some belief. Everyone loves their religion. But don't teach your children to judge any other religion. It's never a good religion. It only preaches hatred. You don't know that. Every religion, at the core of every religion, is a feeling that people must come together, that they must feel love and share. One day my daughter came home crying at the age of 6. She says her friends told her she was a heathen and she would go to hell and boil in oil. What do you explain to a 6-year-old? Never brings about a lot of all the feelings of superiority that we hold. And believe me, however nice you think you are, and you are all extremely nice people, you hold certain things very dear. There are certain cultural norms, certain things that you've been brought up with that are yours. You will not bring the beggar from the street, the homeless man, and give him a meal. You will not steal in a supermarket. Yet you'll judge the man who steals a loaf of bread there. Can't pay for it. Yeah, there are some that steal for pleasure, but there are some that have very sad stories and they cannot afford to. I remember in Walmart in Gainesville, when I went to drop my daughter, there was a man paying for 3 cans of beans with a handful of pennies, and he was $1 short. And I asked the lady, shall I offer? She says, that would be insulting, don't do that. So I wanted to pay for his food, but she said, don't do that, that would be insulting to him. When will my problems go away? When will I always have the money I need? You actually do have. You're trying to stretch that period of happiness and bring it into the cycle, the down cycle. Life is in cycles. We have up cycles when everything seems to be going good, whether we want to do it or we don't do it. As soon as one thing goes well, your mood changes, the messages you're giving to yourself are more upbeat. You're not saying never and always. And you're just always happy because, you know, the good things are turning. Things seem to be happening your way. And your messages are different to yourself. Even in a day, there are cycles. In the morning, you will always be happy. In the evening, it's possible that you'll always be a little negative. Your prana goes down. Even in one 24-hour cycle, you have up cycles and you have down cycles. But you have to remain in that faith that it always comes around. That always happens. The cycles repeat themselves. So then, if you don't want to use those 2 words, how can I remain happy? How can I be at peace? This moment is everything. PMA, present moment awareness, right now. Right now is an eternity. It's the always and it's the never. This is it. At this moment, if you're happy, then the next moment you can be happy, and the next moment you can be happy. Then you don't have to think of always. Because really, the soul, the self, does not know this concept of happiness and joy, of sorrow and these wavering emotions. That is all on your surface. Inside, there is only pure love. There is only pure love. It is said in the Upanishads that from a germ of love you were created. So within, the real you doesn't know. It is all in a permanent state of bliss. It's just that all these other things have masked it. And you're not able to access that feeling. But that's within you. The self is in a permanent state of bliss. So if you want to always be happy, access your source. Access the self. Stop everything and have those aha moments. Those are the best. Were you here when we talked about aha? Give yourself several aha moments. What is an aha moment? It's that moment when you put a nice round laddu, a piece of chocolate cake into your mouth, and it melts and you can feel the taste in your buds and the saliva is flowing in. And at that moment, your body ache, the money you made or didn't make, or the man who said something to you, nothing matters. But let that not come just from your taste buds. Let it come from a trigger, and the trigger that I gave you was the color green. So when you look at the color green, you go in a real South Indian way, aha, shake your head like that, stop it and smile and just enjoy that beauty, that greenery, that loveliness of your life. Everything stops in that. If you can get in 10 to 15 aha moments, you won't need to think about how you'll always be happy. You just will always be happy because you'll be getting back to your source. So we're going to be mindful. We're going to watch when we say we never do certain things. And we're going to watch when we always long for something. Longing by itself is a good thing. Depends on what you long for. You long for wisdom, for eternal peace, for joy. It's a good thing. You long for a BMW, a $6 million house. I don't know. That might cause you a little heartache. Not saying it will never happen, but watch out what you long for. The only thing that stays eternally with you, which nobody can rob, nobody can take away from you, is a smile on your face. That's yours. You can bring it on at will. Your only right is to be happy. So then aren't you going to be happy always? And if you're happy always, then you're never going to be sad. Isn't that a wonderful thing? So let's watch out for these two words, never and always. Om Namah Shivaya.